And let's put a little really fresh stannous chloride on it. Oh, now that's very interesting there. See that orange color? That I was not expecting. That looks like the color of platinum to me. So where did my gold and palladium go, and where the heck did this platinum come from? Hello scrappers, Mike here. Welcome back to my channel. Today, what we're going to do is process the sludge on the bottom of my temporary stock pot. So let me give you a quick look in here. We got a lot of deep blue-green liquid in there. It's very opaque, but when the liquid level wasn't so high and a little more transparent, I could see we were building up a good layer of sludge on the bottom. That sludge probably contains some gold, might contain some palladium too. I did all that processing of Jobin's palladium plated strips, and a lot of the liquid wound up in here from that, so there could be some palladium on the bottom of it. And who knows what else? Who knows? So, step one is to get rid of the liquid. Now, normally this would go straight into my main stock pot, but the main stock pot is not ready to be dumped off into my waste bucket yet, so there's no room in it for all this, but that'll happen soon. I just need to let it settle a little bit, turn off the bubbler in it, let everything settle. Then I can siphon the liquid out of it into the waste bucket. Then there'll be room in there for this stuff. But in the meantime, what I need to do is just dump this off. So we'll make ourselves a new temporary stock pot just by dumping the liquid out of this one into this one. And then we'll capture the sludge in the bottom of this. So let me dump this stuff off, and we'll see if we can find the sludge in the bottom. But I don't want to dump it into the other bucket. Yeah, here comes some sludge. Yeah, little bit's going to come over. Hopefully we can keep the bulk of it in here. Oh yeah, there's a lot in there. So a little bit's going to come over. Okay, that's about it. I think the rest, yeah, there's a lot of sludge there. I think the rest of that I can capture on a filter with my vacuum filtration setup. And then this will become my new temporary stock pot. Put it back out of the way, put some rocks on it, keep the lid from blowing off. So let me get set up to process the sludge in the bottom of this bucket. So let me get my vacuum pump plugged in, and we will vacuum filter this stuff. Get it in here without spilling it. Try and get the liquid through first. Then get the sludge in there, because the sludge, no doubt, will plug the filter. But it is the sludge we want, so I don't care too much if it plugs the filter. It's just going to slow things down. Let's see, I think there's enough capacity in this 2-liter vacuum flask to get all the liquid through. I guess we'll find out. I can always stop and empty it out partway through. Yeah, this is going to take a little while. So we'll just let the liquid go through. I'll get the rest of it in there, and be back when I'm ready to get the sludge in. Alright, I got most of the liquid through. This is what we're looking at in the filter so far. But I think most of the sludge is still in here. I'm starting to think I might not have the capacity for all the liquid in this 2-liter flask, so I'm going to switch out to this 1-liter flask I've got. I think that will be enough. So I'm going to have to rinse the inside of the bucket, as well as just getting the rest of the liquid and sludge into the filter. I want to make sure I got enough capacity for all that. Oh yeah, there's some serious sludge up in that bucket. I hope you can see it up in there. Rinse it out. Is it all gold and palladium? I don't know. It's possible there's some other stuff here. Could be some copper sulfide. Could be some general dirt. Might get a paper towel and wipe out the inside of the bucket too. Looks like there's a lot of fine powder stuck to the inside. I'd like to capture that if I can. Okay, I wiped out the inside of the bucket and got this much extra stuff here. I'm going to put this with the filter here. When I process it, I'll process it all together so we don't lose that. I'm going to wait. There's still a fair amount of liquid in here. I'm going to wait for that to finish going through. I'll spray some distilled water in it, try and get as much of the green color out of the filter as I can, get that through, and then we'll move on to processing that black sludge and see what we get out of it. Well, this is kind of interesting. As I'm rinsing the green out of the filter, it's making foam. That's weird. Didn't do that before. Okay. I guess it can make foam. Anyway, once the rinse liquid gets pulled through, I will pull the filter out and put it in a beaker. I'll put this in too with it. And the green liquid can go right back in my temporary stock pot. It might still have traces of precious metals in it that can come out in the main stock pot. So don't want to waste it. But I will just maybe rinse this one more time and let the liquid pull through. Okay, I thought I'd give you a shot of this before I pulled the filter out. I don't know what those gray crystals are in there, but they don't appear to be water soluble. I've sprayed a lot of rinse water on them and they're still there. So I'm not sure what that is. I'll just pull it out with the filter and we will treat it with the filter and see if there's anything good in it. It's probably just junk, but we'll see. Alright, I'm going to pull the filter out and get it in a beaker along with that, and we'll process it in the fume hood, see if we can get any gold or maybe palladium out of this stuff. Alrighty, let's make some aqua regia and see what we can get into solution here. If we get this stuff in solution, we'll do a stannous chloride test on it and see what it looks like, and then move on from there. Let's get the fume hood going. That would be smart. I'm going to put a fair amount of muriatic acid in there just because there's so much paper pulp in there. It's probably a lot more than we need to dissolve that amount of solids, but well, there's some paper pulp. Let me put a little bit of heat to this, not too much. Just want to warm it up. And then we're going to put some of my homemade nitric acid on it. And about 2 milliliters to start with. I can always add more. I got a feeling I might need to add more, but we'll start with 2 milliliters. Let's see what that does. And we'll just let this sit here and warm up. And we'll check on it from time to time. Yeah, I know, I need to plexiglass doors for my fume hood. They are getting grungy and I can't clean them up anymore. They don't clean up. So that's on my list of things to do. So in the future, we'll have a clear view again. In the meantime, I just have to open the door for you from time to time when there's nothing too energetic going on in there. Well, it's been a few minutes. The liquid is starting to warm up a bit. There's been some bubbling. The liquid has turned an intriguing orange color, which is a whole lot more interesting than the green-blue it was before. But I still see a lot of undissolved solids in there, so I think I'm going to hit it with a little bit more nitric acid. Maybe about another 2 milliliters. Might be over nitricating it, but I can always denox it. So we'll see if this gets the rest of the solids in solution. We'll also turn the heat up a little bit because it was just barely warm. So we'll let that cook for a little while longer, see what it looks like. Well, it's been a few more minutes, and I'm giving it a stir here to try and break up the paper. And I can see that there's still black stuff entrained in the paper. So I'm trying to break it up. It's falling apart, turning into pulp, which is good. That'll give everything a chance. That'll give everything a chance to get in touch with the acid. It's gotten really dark, which I don't know what that means. Could be bad, good, could be bad. I don't know. But I would say the metals are finally going into solution. So, good. I'm just going to let it cook for a little while and see if we can get everything into solution. Alright, it's been a few more minutes, and we got some pretty vigorous bubbling going on in there, and we're evolving some orange fumes. So it looks like we've got a pretty vigorous reaction going on. A lot of the paper pulp is floating because it probably contains gas bubbles. I still see some black bits of metal in it, so yeah, it's reacting. So I turned the heat down. I don't want this to, there's a lot of paper pulp in there. If this reaction gets too strong, it could easily foam up out of the beaker. So I've turned the heat back down. We're just going to let this simmer until the reaction seems to be done. No more orange fumes, no more bubbling, and then we'll check it with stannous chloride and see what we got here. Alright, I'm not sure what's going on in this beaker. I had a good look, and the black stuff, the black sludge, all seems to be in solution. Now, those gray crystals I showed you in the funnel earlier, there seems to be a pile of them in the middle of the beaker after I stirred it up. They're not going into solution. They seem to be acting like boiling stones right now. You see that boiling going on right there? I'm going to let it cook a little while longer and see if they go into solution. There's not much that can withstand hot aqua regia. I don't know what that gray stuff is. It could be, I don't know, one of the more resistant platinum group metals. Could just be some kind of, I don't know. It could be silicon dye remains from IC chips that got in there somehow. I don't know what it is. But we're going to let it cook for a little while and see if it goes into solution. I'm kind of doubting it will. But we'll just see. And I'll let you know. Alright, I don't know what that gray stuff is, but it does not seem to be going into solution. I'm just boiling the liquid. Nothing much is happening. So I'm going to call it quits on that. It's getting late in the day, almost dinner time. Might want to take the wife out tonight. But anyway, before I do anything else with this, I think I want to do a stannous chloride test on it. And I'll probably just leave this sit till tomorrow and work on it further tomorrow. So let me get a little bit of this orange liquid, and we'll take it and put it on the spot plate over here. And I'll put some stannous chloride on it. I'll move the camera closer so you can get a view of the reaction. And we'll see what we've got. Yeah, it's quite late in the day. We got long shadows here, and the lab lights aren't helping too much. So, some very fresh stannous chloride here I just made. Well, all right. It looks like we've got some gold in solution for sure. And I see hints of green around the edges. So, yeah, I think there's some palladium there. Maybe not a lot, but a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised about the palladium at all because, like I said, the liquid from processing Jovin's palladium-coated strips went in here. So we probably got a little bit of palladium too. All right, so I'm going to wrap things up out here, and we'll pick up again in the morning. Okay, it's the next morning, and this has gone dark. It's hard to tell on the camera. It's a really dark purple, which I think is probably the color of colloidal gold. So I don't know what happened overnight, but I think the gold came out of solution as colloidal, and that's what that color is. So, yeah, I was thinking this was going too easy. I was also thinking leaving it until the next day was probably not a good idea, but I wanted to take my wife out to dinner. It's been a rough couple of months with hurricanes, and I thought she deserved a break. But, oh well. So the question now is, how do I fix this problem? Well, I think I'm going to put some heat back on it, because it's stone cold right now. And I think I'm going to put some more nitric acid in there, maybe just a milliliter or so. And hopefully, get that gold back in solution. There's about a milliliter of nitric acid. Okay. And then, so what caused this problem? Well, that's a good question, but I would say the prime suspect is that undissolved gray stuff in the bottom of the beaker. So I think what I'm going to do, if I can get this gold to go back into solution, turn back yellow-orange, I think what I'm going to do is drain the liquid out of this beaker and leave behind the solids, and then go on from there. So let's just let this warm up. Get the fume hood going, and we'll see if that stuff goes back into solution. Well, what do you know about that? I love it when a plan comes together. Okay, turn the heat off. I'm going to grab another beaker, and I'm going to pour this liquid off into another beaker and try to leave those possibly problematic solids in the bottom behind. Then we'll deal with the liquid. Okay, so let's deal with this stuff now. Before something else happens. Yeah, there's the solids in the bottom. I don't know what they are. They might be causing me trouble. So we'll just work on the liquid from here on out. See what we can do with it. Okay, let's denox this stuff. I'm sure it's got way too much nitric acid in it. It's really interesting to see what happens when I denox it too. The pH on this changes. So I got my usual saturated solution of sulfamic acid here to put a little bit in. Oh, now that's interesting. It's not acting like it has too much nitric acid in it. So something ate up that nitric acid I put in there. Okay. It'd be interesting to see if we still have gold in solution. Gold and or platinum. I'm going to put some of this in anyway. Got a little bit of a reaction. But definitely, our nitric acid went somewhere. I was expecting a big foamy reaction. Okay. And it's going brown again. Interesting. Okay, let me get some ice and we'll ice this down, cool it off so I can filter it. Alright, here goes some ice. We'll let that melt. That will cool and dilute the liquid. And then we'll filter it. Then we'll filter it and drop any gold it contains. Although we might do a stannous chloride test on it first to see if there's still gold in solution there. Or if it's hiding out in the solids here, or in the solids that have redeveloped on the bottom of the beaker there. Although I think that's paper pulp. We'll see. Hopefully there's still gold in solution. Alright, the ice has melted. This stuff is cooled and diluted. Let's do another stannous chloride test on it before I get the vacuum filtration set up out. And let's see if it's worth filtering, okay? I don't know. A little worried. Get you zoomed in here on the spot plate. And let's put a little really fresh stannous chloride on it. Oh, now that's very interesting there. Okay. See that orange color? That I was not expecting. Okay. So, did a test yesterday afternoon. Earlier in this video, you saw it. There was definitely gold in it and maybe some palladium. I don't see any trace of those right now. That looks like the color of platinum to me. So where did my gold and palladium go, and where the heck did this platinum come from? Actually, now that I think about it, it looked like I did get a little platinum salts out of Jovan's palladium-plated scrap. I remember that now. There was some orange salt mixed in with the red palladium salt. So there wasn't much, but it was a little bit. Maybe a lot of the platinum wound up in my temporary stockpot. So possibly we got platinum in this liquid now. But where did my gold and palladium go? Maybe in the solids on the bottom. Where's that other beaker? Or maybe in here. I don't know. That's crazy. Okay. Well, what I could do, I suppose, is filter this liquid, set the liquid aside, since it apparently has platinum in it, at least looks like it has a little bit, and then retreat the solids. See if I can find the gold and palladium again. So, I guess I'll be filtering this after all. Let me get my filtration set up out, and we'll get started. I was just hoping for a quick and simple processing and a little easy gold, but nothing's ever easy, is it? I'm just going to do a quick gravity filtration on this. I'm not going to get the vacuum set up out. This liquid will go through this funnel really quickly. It won't slow down until I get the solids in the bottom in, and then, well, I've got some errands I need to run, so if it takes a good long time for the solids to drain through, that's fine. So we'll get this filtered, and then we'll decide what to do with the solids. Okay, pretty much got all this orange liquid through. I'm going to dump the solids in the filter now. This is the stuff I want to capture and process again to see if we can find our gold and palladium, which I swear we had. And I am going to wash the solids out of this beaker into here too. Our gold's got to be hiding somewhere. So, see if we can find it again. Alright. Let this finish draining. Then we'll have platinum-y liquid and solids that should contain gold and palladium. Hopefully. All right, just let it drain and move on from there. All right, I am at the point of just washing down the filter and the solids here to try and get as much of that orange liquid out of it as I can. Clean them up some before we process them again. I can believe that stannous chloride test. There's a lot of platinum in this liquid, but I can't figure out where it could have come from. I mean, a little tiny bit may have made it into my temporary stockpot processing Jovan strips, but wow. Somehow it got pretty concentrated. But hopefully, it's all down here now. Not up here anymore. We'll see. Okay, so I'll let this drain through, maybe spritz it a couple more times. When the solids are good and dry, I'll put them in another beaker. We'll figure out where to go from here. All right, so this has had a chance to drain. I've rinsed it quite a bit. So let me pull the filter out. Hopefully it's not going to fall apart on me. There we go. All right. Get that in there. All right, so here's where we stand. This orange liquid, inexplicably, seems to have platinum in it. Okay, was not expecting to find platinum in this process. Okay. Also, inexplicably, the gold and palladium signal I saw in the stannous chloride test earlier has disappeared. It looks like all we've got is platinum. So the gold and palladium, by process of elimination, must be back in the solids over here. So I guess I need to treat the solids again and figure out what I'm going to do with this stuff, if anything. I could just put it in my stock pot and let it accumulate in there until there's a decent amount of platinum. So I kind of doubt there's very much here based on the strength of the stannous chloride test. Looked like platinum, but it didn't look like a really strong signal for platinum. So I don't know whether I want to try and go after that or not. I'll give it some thought, okay? Definitely going to try and find the gold and palladium I saw. They're in here somewhere. Must be. Where else could they be? So we're going to hit this with some aqua regia again. But once again, it's getting late in the day. I've got stuff to do tomorrow and the next couple of days. So I think we're going to end this video here. And we'll pick up again in the future when I've got some more time to work on this. And we'll see if we can find the gold and palladium in here and figure out what to do with this liquid over here that apparently has platinum in it. So anyway, subscribe to see future videos in this series and all the other videos I'm going to be putting out on all kinds of other stuff. And if you found this video at all interesting, educational, informative, inspirational, whatever, give it a like, give it a thumbs up. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks a lot for watching this one. Bye.